Okay, review question number 3 is if I'm given a line on an XY coordinate graph. So let's say I have my coordinate graph here. So this is the y-axis, this is the x-axis. If I have, for instance, a point here, and let's call this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's say that this point is 6, 4. All right. So our first point is 6, 4. Let's say we had another point on our coordinate, and let's go down here. So if we go to this point here, we're at -2, -6. -2, -6. All right. So if we were to draw a line going from this point to that point, we want to be able to exactly find the coordinate of this point, which is the midpoint. Okay, so that is the basic goal of this particular type of geometric question. Right? How do you find that midpoint? That midpoint has a coordinate that is an x-coordinate and a y-coordinate. The way that you find the x-coordinate is take the two x-coordinates of the endpoints. So we have, for instance, we have -2 and we have the 6. So we're going to take those two endpoints and add them together. All right, so we're going to go -2 plus 6, and we're going to divide that by 2. All right, so we're basically taking the average of the two endpoints on the x coordinates. Now we're going to do the same thing with the y coordinate of one point and the y coordinate of the other. So again, we're going to take and add. So we're going to take -6 plus 4 and divide that by 2. Okay, so we're basically, that's the x coordinate and the y coordinate of the midpoint. Well, if we do that, -2 plus 6 is 4 over 2. -6 plus 4 is -2 over 2. And if we follow up with the division on that, 4 over 2 is 2. And -2 over 2 is -1. And that should be the coordinate of the midpoint. So 2, matter of fact, if you look, that is almost precisely what it is. So here we're at 2. Here we're at -1. That is the coordinate for the midpoint. So it is 2, -1. Again, to review, to find the midpoint of the midpoint coordinates, find the midpoint coordinates. Simply add the x coordinates together and divide by 2. And do the same for the y coordinates.